In life is that people are the X factor. They constantly surprise us, both in amazing ways and not so much. We're Ben and Syya, and welcome to the On This Business Bytes podcast. This show is all about real life things we all deal with every day, how they relate to business, and how to make some sense out of our daily chaos. Welcome to the show. And welcome back to another episode of On This Business Bytes. I'm Ben and this is Syya. And today I want to talk about creating opportunity. So many people sit there and say, well, when I get the opportunity, when the opportunity presents itself, when something comes up, I'll be able to do this. Well, guess what? We make our own opportunities. In life, we need to take the bull by the horn. If we sit there and wait for other people to give us permission, to hand over the baton, to be able to sit there and say that we're enough, we never will be. We need to believe in ourselves. We need to believe in our own abilities, and we need to sit there and say, listen, if I want this and I don't have the skills to do this, I either need to build the skills to do this, or I need to align myself with people who have the skills to do this and be able to figure out a way to overcome and adapt from where I am to get to where I want to be. Because if we don't create opportunities, if we wait for somebody else to do that, we're going to spend our entire life going, well, I didn't quite get this done, or I tried this, but it didn't work. Or, I would have been the vice president had somebody given me an opportunity to do such and such. Stop waiting for other people to hand you the baton. Pick up the baton yourself and run with it. You may not run as fast, you may not run as far, but at least you're running and you're heading in the direction that you need to be. So, Syya, let's gnaw on this.
I'm going to argue and say, make your own damn baton.
There we go.
Okay.
Cut down a branch, whittle it down, and make that baton.
Make that baton, because you walk down the street and you saw that tree and you're like, that's my baton. I'm going to make it happen. You know what was also going on while you were talking? And I don't know if anyone saw my face. If you are of a certain age, you will know this song lyric from a wonderful, wonderful rest in peace singer. Her name is Mama Cass.
Mm-hmm.
Make your own kind of music. Sing your own special song. And I'm not going to go down the entire lyrics on it, but look, peoples, here's the deal. You got to make your own kind of music. You got to make your own magic happen. Ain't no Cinderella situation where there's going to be a fairy godmother coming out of the blue. Now, it's not to say there are occasions where a fairy godmother might come around, or there might be a situation where you might be able to meet that prince, aka a big deal, land on your plate. Okay, that good luck does happen.
Yeah.
But if you are open to creating an opportunity space for those opportunities to fall from the sky and all that goodness, that's why people, when you see people that are constantly lucky, how are they so damn lucky? How does everything work so well for, Sam?
Because they work too damn hard not to get lucky.
Right? So, and that's the thing is, a lot of people will put themselves in a situation where they might not know what the hell they're doing, but they do. Like, I got a buddy that literally, he's fascinated me. He's a very smart person. Don't get me wrong. And he is a he, but man alive, if you know him personally, you're kind of like he's kind of a clown, a goofball, but he's been able to navigate small business, corporate 100, Fortune 100, and gotten executive leadership roles. And again, if you knew this person goofball that he is, that he's in these types of executive roles, it's to quote my girlfriend, it's mind boggling. It is like you figure it out, but you spend some time with him, go past that veneer of him being a clown. And what you see is a guy that's eternally optimistic, eternally curious, eternally willing to learn and take advisement. And that's why he got to where he did. And that's why he's our token rich friend.
Well, I look.
You know who you are, my friend. Love you. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
I look at the story of the optimist and the pessimist. And there's two identical twins, and they're 5 years old. And the optimist and the pessimist get grabbed up, and they each get put in a room. The pessimist gets put in a room full of toys, and the optimist gets put in a room full of horse poop. And they get left alone for half an hour. And they come back in a half an hour, and the pessimist has got broken toys everywhere, and he's sitting in a corner and he's crying. And they clean up the mess, and they clean him up, and they comfort him, and off he goes. And they go and grab the kid that's the optimist. And there's horse poop everywhere. It's all over the kid. It's all over the room. It's all over the ceiling. It's everywhere. And they finally slow this kid down, and they grab him and says, "What are you doing? Why are you throwing this all over the place?" And the kid looks at them up and says, "Hey, with this much horse poop, there's got to be a pony in here somewhere."
Oh,
so
that's
you gotta grab
your
your pony. You got to make your own magic. You were right. I mean, you sit there and say, sometimes the world throws you a bone. But if you're not watching out for that bone, if you're not willing to grab it when it comes, it will sail right past you. And we need to sit there and say, all right, opportunity is here. Yes. There's a chance, there's a chance for me to get a promotion, but it means me going to the China office for 2 years. Yes. I'm gonna what I need you to do is I need you to go up to Alaska and work in the Alaska plant for 6 months so we can get you this promotion back down at the head office. Yes. This project's coming up. We need somebody to volunteer to work on this project. Yes. It's a matter of sitting there going, okay, I want to be known as the person that people can rely on, the people that are going to take a risk, somebody that people can know that is going to get stuff done, is reliable, and is going to sit there and work hard. And those are the people that opportunity comes to.
Okay, I got to ask you this question because it's like bugging me because I'm hearing this and I'm look, I think logically speaking, we understand what you just said. It's golden. It's what I think pretty much we all know. Mm-hmm. So I challenge you and I'm curious, my friend, can you give me an example of a moment for you where you made magic happen? You sang your own little song.
Yeah. I moved to Israel for 2 years in 1993. Okay. I was very comfortable living in Victoria. I had a good job. I had a good girlfriend. I had an apartment that I loved. And I needed to go do something else. I needed to find out, could I live in Israel? Is it something that I could do? And I spent 2 years living there, being indoctrinated into the country, learning. Well, I spoke the language fluently, but getting a job and making friends and all that kind of stuff. And after 2 years, I sat there and went, you know what? This has been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed this, but it's not where I want to be long term. And then I turned around and came home again. And I came home with probably half the money in my pocket that I walked into Israel with. Came back without a job. I came back without an apartment. I came back without furniture and rebuilt my life again. And it was just of the attitude that says, you know what? You just have to sit there and say, what's next? And the world will figure itself out.
And it wasn't a total loss for you, though, was it, though? Because 2 years.
I learned amazing things over those 2 years. I learned things about myself. I learned things about the country. I learned things about friends of mine. I learned who my friends were, who my friends weren't. I learned what I was capable of. I learned new skills. So it was worth every single penny that I spent and the time that I did. And so what? I got 2 years older. I was going to get 2 years older anyway.
Right.
And what it allowed me to do was come back here and put me in a better position to be successful long term.
And I think that's like the point of a lot of this, right? Is when you see opportunity, sometimes it's a lesson in building humility within yourself or getting experience or just becoming a bigger, broader person, right? It doesn't always have to be an upward trajectory with opportunity. Opportunity just means there's an opportunity for something. It doesn't know what the other side of that tunnel is going to look like. And I think that's really fascinating that, monetarily speaking, yeah, you probably, made less, right? You said half.
Oh, no, I did make less.
You did? Okay.
Not thought of making less. I made a lot less.
Hey man, I left corporate America and I'm starting my own, my own business entrepreneurship. I assure you, in the very beginning, there was no way in hell I knew darned well that I was not going to make what I used to make in corporate, but
Absolutely.
I'm fracking hella happier.
Yeah.
I'm more centered in who I am, right? And I think it's like one of those things where you're like, okay, you know what? I could have been in fear when I left corporate, right? I could have been like, oh, I got to find another job. I got to find another job. No, luckily for me, had enough finances to be able to, find my soul.
Sure.
Not everyone has that luxury. I fully understand. So it just reminds me, like, let me go back further in time if I could share. When I left Southern California to go to Northern California, I left college. What was supposed to be a semester turned out to be a 3-year hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was all my friends were graduating. And a lot of them were getting their masters while I still was putzing around making decent money as a kid. You walking home with $500 cash. I mean, what are you going to do? Right. So it wasn't horrible. And this was in the 90s. But I realized I needed to change. I was in a good position. Like you said, making good money, had a great circle of friends, but I wasn't going anywhere.
Right.
I wasn't really getting soul satisfaction. I was getting the immediate gratification satisfaction, but that's only fleeting. Right. So I moved up north, sight unseen. What I thought I had money saved went away very quickly because this was during the .com and moving from SoCal to NorCal, I blew through my money real fast. At one point, I had $50 in my bank account. Literally, $50 in my bank account. And thank goodness my quote vacation pay from Disney finally pulled through, but that just sustained me for another month. It wasn't much cushion, but I made it happen.
Right.
And that was like a big eye opener. And I think that's where opportunity, right? Like I knew I needed to leave. I knew I needed to recenter my center. Though that path was fine, it wasn't the path I wanted, right? I was living a good life, but different move. So yeah, mine for that particular situation turned out to be one of the best things. I finished college, went through a couple boyfriends, learned that one, learned lessons there, learned a lot about friendships there too.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, that's where I think, when they say take the bull by the horn, sometimes it's like, trust your intuition. Definitely trust your intuition, you guys. We're not saying if there's opportunity, jump at every single one. Not all good money is, not all investor money is good money, right? So don't jump at every first opportunity you get. Really think about it and trust your gut. Listen to your soul.
Listen to that gut.
Please,
it will serve you well.
For shiznets. I'm not speaking from personal or anything like that, but I'm just saying. No, seriously though, I think going into the unknown, I think there's that risk factor. I mean, don't you think?
There's always,
and that's the other thing too.
And you know what? Things can go wrong. Things have gone wrong for me. Things have gone wrong for you. Things have probably gone wrong for everybody in the chat right here. And the question is, when they do go wrong, what do you learn from it? And okay, you might have lost money, you might have lost time, you might have lost reputation. But the question is, what did you learn from it and what have you gained from it? Because you're going to gain and you're going to learn from every situation you're in, good, bad, or ugly.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we need to sit there. And that's why I'm sitting there and say, you need to be able to grab opportunity by the horns, is to sit there and say, okay, this has the opportunity of succeeding. And if it succeeds, phenomenal. But if it doesn't succeed, okay, I'm still going to be all right. I'm still going to have a roof over my head. I'm still going to have food in my belly. But you know what? I've still learned lessons that are going to make me better the next time.
Yes, you tried. That's the biggest thing. You tried. And you know what? No one can criticize anyone that tries. Yeah. If anything, it's the ones that criticize you for trying are the ones that are remaining stagnant and the odds are high. You got to evaluate what their agenda is, where their perspective is, and where they fit in your growth journey too, right? So, I'm all for the words of wisdom, family. But you know what? Sometimes even the closest people that you think is not going to believe in you, when you do take those opportunities, you got to trust your gut, man. Trust yourself.
So let's leave it there. Let's leave it with trust your gut, live your life, carpe diem, and, sit there and realize that not every opportunity is the one to jump at. But when it's time to jump, it's time to jump. I'm Ben.
And I'm Syya.
We'll see you soon.
Hey. Thanks for listening to another episode of Not on This, Business Bytes. If you liked what you heard, we most humbly ask that you like, share, and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to communicate more effectively within your organization, contact Ben at yourbrandmarketing.com or me at brilliantbeammedia.com. We can help you build your community, brand awareness, and personality through digital content and podcasting. We cannot wait to hear from you. So see you next week for another episode of Not on This, Business Bytes.